All right. Good morning, everybody. Well, not morning, afternoon, actually. It's 12 o'clock. So, I'm here with Filbert, hanging out with him today. I've been started around 9 o'clock today, doing up the wiring. So, what consists of my wiring that I'm going to do a little different than last time is that the little waterfall setup here that typically goes all the way down over here to the battery. I cut it right here, so I'm going to be using that cover to go right here, and then I'll just start the wiring out that way. I think it'll just be a little different than typical builds. So let me see here. So I think it'll be neat. Motor's pretty much done. Down to like the last couple parts where I gotta get the fitment done. Hey, Cal Kid, how's it going, man? It's going good. If you could see me. So, gotta get back on thinking again. Sorry. Get back on track. So, oh yeah, I saved there a couple parts. The rods, the pistons, the manifold, the turbo, the wastegate, the downpipe have all been saved. Even the spacer for the 2.0T coil pack survived. So we're using all that stuff from the motor. Let's see if I can give you guys a different angle here. You guys can see better. There you go. So here's the 2.0T coil pack spacer that was salvaged. I gotta de-pin these coil pack plugs. They're broken. My buddy Tim has got an adapter, a tool to actually do this correctly, so we're gonna be doing that later. So that's pretty much done right there. All the wiring set in place. All the wiring on these cars fall into place, so it's really not hard to mess it up as long as you remember what's what. And I'll walk you guys through it. It's pretty easy. So let's start with the fuel injector wiring right here. See if I can get this one out. Okay. So when you pull this wire harness out, this part of the harness, you got your map sensor, and you follow it. You got your throttle body, your cam position, your idle temperature sensor that goes right here, or air temp sensor that goes on the throttle body. Actually, no, on the manifold right here. And then you got your fuel injectors, your NOx sensor, work your way over, your VVT or your VTEC sensor, this one, your coolant sensor, and your N75. So if you can follow that, that's all done. Then we work our way on the back on the harness where the coil plugs are. You got your 4 spark plug wires. There's a ground wire right here. Make sure you don't forget it. It bolts onto the valve cover. Follow that over. It goes down. It goes to your speed sensor on the transmission. And that's pretty much it on that side. Now we're going to work our way around. So let me show you over here on the other side. This is where it gets a little complicated, but not too hard. So just pay attention. For jaw, that question, I don't know. For ADS system, I don't know what an ADS system is to begin with. I've never worked with that before, so I don't have an answer for that. Sorry, man. So when we work our way over here, remember the one I was talking about, the one that goes to the speed sensor towards the back? This merges up to the side to this little loom right here, the main loom. And now you have, there's this one right here that sits over here. It's for the second knock sensor on the right side of the engine. And then you got your crank position sensor, which is the gray one. Okay, this gray plug is the crank position sensor. The one that comes right off of it, this one goes to your N249. This is going to be deleted. We don't use this anymore. The tune I'm going to be using doesn't call for it, so I don't even need to plug it in. Just gotta tape it and keep it along with the other one. And then the one, it tees off right here. You can see my finger. This goes to the oil pressure sensor. And then let me pull this line out. There we go. Work our way down. So now we're onto going to the main chassis, but not yet. The plastic covered one, that's your power wire from your alternator. If you go over to the left, this is the AC bung. I'm not even going to use AC, but because of the belt that I'm using, I have to have my AC compressor plugged in. So it doesn't give me. No, I'm not going to be using a standalone. Sorry, I got a tuner that does all the work for me. Follow this, and then here's your power bolt, and then there's the other sensor right here for the alternator. That's everything pretty much on the engine side. So we work our way over. These two connect. Leave those alone. If you work on your loom, see this right here off the loom. This goes to power steering pressure. This is your SAI. I think there's another one over here. Yeah, this one is over here. It goes, I believe it goes underneath the manifold as well. We're not using that. That's pretty much all deleted as well. All these sensors are going to, I just need the power steering pressure, so I just got to keep that wiring all nice and tucked together. So now we work our way down over here. Keep going to the right. Now this is going to look a little different because I relocated my battery to the trunk. So I have a main power wire from the battery that goes into a distribution block, and right here on the side is your fuse panel. That just goes right into that. Let's see here. So that black wire that goes from the alternator goes into my distribution block, which charges my battery. And then there's another one on the left of it that goes in, that's the power wire that goes into that fuse box, the one that sits on top of the battery. That plugs in. I use the factory wiring for all that. I only just use the distribution block so I can charge and turn on the starter with that. And then the battery on the post on here that goes straight from here to the starter, I got a 4-gauge wire. Actually, no, sorry, a 2-gauge wire, and I went to the starter to that. And that's my starting wire right here. If you see that in blue, that's my starter wire. That's pretty much going to sit there. That's all I need. Now, on here, you got a couple other ones that are kind of odd. This one right here is the fan switch sensor. This is your headlight wiring. Down below are the two main clips for the fans on your radiator. These are the fan pretty much wiring for that. That goes into this box right here. If you work your way over to the left, more to the right, this stuff you don't even touch. You just unbolt it and put it back in. That's your ground spots. You have 3 of them right here. There's a main chassis ground that goes onto the engine. This wire that goes off of here, I'll show you guys in just a second. You see this one right here. It's a big 2-gauge wire. It typically goes all the way over here onto the transmission bolt. I lost the bolt that actually goes here that has the little the 10 mil that goes on it, so you can bolt this onto. So I'm gonna have to use the starter one down here to ground my chassis to the car. So that's the one I'm gonna be doing down here, because that one has the little bolt on here for it. So that's that for the ground and everything. If you keep going to the right, there's a wire going down here. It goes to your turn signal and your 2 horns. The turn signal is the one that's on the bumper. If you run an R32 shaved bumper, you don't need them. So you just zip tie them down here out of the way. So that's done. You work your way over to the back. You have a MAF sensor, your brake sensor, and that's it. This is all the main harness. You just cover that and you're done. Now, that's your whole entire engine harness, pretty much, to as basic as I can give it to you guys. Now, how you guys want to run it is up to you. I'm doing it this way for simplicity, so I don't have to worry about issues with, like, say if there's a short somewhere, I can find it pretty quickly. Or just in general, I don't want to do a wire tuck because the amount of work and effort put into it is just not worth it for my car. That's going to be a daily, not a show car. So this is how I like wiring my cars. Like I said, I'm not building a show car. I'm building a fun car, and it's my car. So this is how I want to do it. Let's see. Other than that, I mean, everything else falls into place. So I don't know what else to give you guys on this portion. My next part right now is I'm going to go and get the turbo mounted. Let's see what else I can do. What turbo and software? Well, the company that I'm working with, I think it's Boost Dynamics or Turbo Dynamics. I'm sorry, I forgot the name exactly. But my friend, his name is Kenton Smith. Really, really good guy. Trenton Smith. Super cool guy. I posted a couple links, a couple videos back about his tunes and everything. He does everything for you. As long as you know what you want to put into it, he'll get you dialed in correctly. He does remote tuning, so it's great. So you have to ship your software to him first, because I got to get the immobilizer delete off of it. I got to get everything else, all the main stuff off of there. But the turbo I'm going to be using, it's from a company called SPA from Brazil. They're notorious. They've been around for almost 30 years building custom turbos, and very, very affordable. And they're not made out of Chinesium. They're made out of actual high quality products. They're just, for the price that you're paying, you're thinking you're buying cheap crap, but you're not. It's actually good stuff. So, if you guys have any questions on that, just definitely give me the heads up. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much how the wiring is route. It's not difficult to do. I walked you through it in every single sensor. So if you guys have other questions, I can definitely help you. For Cal Kid, the turbo, I wish I could show it to you right now. It's all in the other garage. But it's pretty dope. I'll show you guys in a little bit and how that looks, if you want to stay tuned. So, you got any other questions though while I'm sitting here and thinking? Alright, so I'll be right back. Give me a second, alright? So this is the turbo I'm going to be running. It's a T3 T4 hybrid turbo. So if you guys can see that, it's a little heavy, so I'm going to get ready to mount it really quick. But it's a 3-inch inlet with a 2.5-inch outlet. It's designed to make about 400 to 500 horsepower on 1.8. So I'm going to take off this little cover. Let me see if I can mount this. This is what I feared. Trying to get this guy in here. Like no space. I had him in here last time. The motor's too far back. We got to slide it back this way, but you guys can have an idea on how big this turbo is. To get my jack and figure out why this isn't sitting where I want it to sit. There we go. That's how it's supposed to sit, right there. There's space. I got about less than a 1/4 inch space right here. That's still a lot of space. So one thing that you're gonna notice, and I'll show you guys in just a minute. Let me put a couple bolts on here. Now what I do is I'm not mounting the turbo yet. I gotta get everything back and test fit it again. I know everything fits perfectly, but I gotta make sure everything fits perfectly, if that makes sense. There's still a lot of space here from here to here. There's about a finger gap, so it's a decent amount of space. That way you don't have to worry about heat. The turbo blanket that I'm using barely fits, but it fits nonetheless. By a company called Thermal Zero. I love this blanket. It works very, very well and fits very nicely on here. You know? So that's how that's gonna look. I wish I had a better quality video for you guys, so you guys can see how cool this looks. But that's pretty much the setup right there. So I have a 90-degree oil line that's going to go this way. We're going to run it over. I'm thinking about going this way and down. Trying to figure out how that's going to fit. For Minecraft Builder, no. We're using integrated engineering rods, calico coated race bearings, and OEM bearings for the crank. The pistons are stock pistons. You don't need to upgrade your pistons unless you're going over 500. That's not my goal. My goal is about 350 to 4. So this will be more than enough, and I'll be able to drive it on a lower boost, making a lot more power. So it'll be a lot more fun to drive, especially on a front-wheel drive car with that much power. I don't think I need to worry about about that. And go grab my oil line. Now there's a couple ways that you guys can actually run this line. On the front over here, let me show you guys. Yeah, I got a lot of reasons why I didn't go that route. I don't have money. For Sam Grundy, I was able to buy what I was able to afford, you know. So I got what I got, and for right now, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna save up and get a nice high-end stage 3, stage 4 clutch, but for the moment, that's all I'm gonna be able to use right now. So right here on your oil cooler, you got two fittings right here you can run an oil line to. I recommend using the top one because it actually it bolts on straight to your oil pressure, your oil feed line. It's right on top. Yeah, I mean, I got a new flywheel, clutch, a flywheel and pressure plate and clutch for 200 bucks used for the moment. Like I said, I'm saving up. The flywheel that's on this car had over almost about 200,000 miles on it. So yeah, I can't do that. For Minecraft Builder, your question is, put the other axle on and then it will spin, because if both wheels aren't spinning, you're not going to get them to move. If you only have one of them spinning, what's going to happen is that the transmission will transfer power to one wheel versus the other. So you need to have both axles put on to have that wheel spin if you want them to move. So I'm thinking about running the oil line like this. And let's see if this works out nicely. Oopsies. It actually looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I mean, it's better than having it just not go anywhere. But yeah, that's how it would look. I'm probably going to get a bracket right here to hold it in place so it doesn't vibrate as much. I think that'll be a good spot. Put both axles in and then it should stall, because what's going to happen is that you have one wheel spinning, which means the other axle is not doing it, it's not getting any power. So if you have both axles in, you're actually going to get power to the ground, and then it will stall. Because I was either thinking about running the line above like this or down below, but I think this is actually the best option for me right now. I actually like this oil line setup. So now once you have pretty much all this, all you have to do is put back your front end and you're good to go. Put some oil and coolant. I don't know what other questions you guys have, but like I said, I'm going to finish up on here, getting things tidy up. I'm so close to getting this car back up and running. Actually, that looks really good. I'm enjoying how this looks. I know it's kind of in the way, but I mean, I can also bend it down here like that. Get a little bracket to hold it. Let me see here. Do something like that. That looks pretty cool too. I like that. But to figure out how to make a little bracket to hold that, that's gonna be a tricky one. Hey, you're welcome, Minecraft Builder. Just put both axles in and then your car will stall. I can guarantee you that. Or turn off. So yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think how this looks? An oil line like that, or just have it dangle like that? I don't know. I'm trying to think here. I mean, to get this to sit like this, I'm probably going to need a little bracket and bolt it onto this water pump function, the water flange. Or maybe, I can use this and go across and hold it right there. Interesting. I don't know. Let's see. Trying to think what else I need to do. I gotta get my fuel lines going later. For Sam Grundy, no, I'm not gonna use water meth this time around. I'm gonna stay with just stock fueling. 93 for daily, and then 100 for the track octane. I think that'll be more than enough while I'm out and about. Let's see my downpipe. See if I can get my downpipe to fit in here. So this is the downpipe that I had custom made for the car. You guys can see that. Full 3-inch custom downpipe made out of full stainless steel. For Minecraft Builder, my whole build so far, with machine shop work, all the parts, all the hardware, gaskets, clutch. If you shop around and take your time and be reasonable about it, you can do it for about $5,000. You know, and that's like definitely taking your time and shopping around. Don't just like, oh, just buy the cheap stuff. Don't make do with the cheap stuff. Yeah, the downpipe's not going to be able to go on today. So, trying to figure out what else I need to worry about today. Yeah, there's not much left. I'm just super excited about that. So at this point in the build, what you need to start shopping for or looking for are like little hoses, sensors. I'm trying to think what else is there to worry about. If you're going to replace any sensors, if you're going to do like I did the integrated engineering crankcase AN10 fittings. So I have these fittings that I made right here, and these are all AN10. Integrated engineering makes a breather setup that you can use AN10 fittings with. If you buy both of them, they're about I think like 40 or 50 bucks together. So I'm using this for my oil catch can. For Minecraft Builder, if you want to contact me, if you actually go to my main page on my YouTube channel, on the upper right hand corner, on my banner, there's a couple links there to my Facebook and Instagram if you guys want to hit me up and get a hold of me that way as well. So you'll see here, I have these two lines that go across, and I'm going to be using a catch can right here. The catch can literally sits like right here. Let me show you guys in just a minute. So this is the catch can where I'm using right here. Has a built-in baffle. Two dual AN10 fittings, and it's vent to atmosphere. For Sam Grundy, I'm definitely going to do an oil temp sensor. I want to do oil temperature, probably oil pressure. I don't know if I even care that much for oil pressure. You gotta. For CalKid, the motor mounts are actually VF Engineering motor mounts. They're a lot stronger than the ECS replicas that they made. So you'll see here, catch can all set up. Yeah, the only sensors I'm going to be running is a boost sensor, um, this boost sensor, oil temp, and probably a wideband. I don't know yet. Uh, I'm gonna think about it later down the road. I haven't gotten to that point yet. So the oil catch can will sit around here. I'm gonna be making a bracket. That way it mounts like right around here somewhere. Trying to figure it out, but yeah, it's gonna be mount right here by the headlight. Because I wanted to mount it back against the firewall, but that just gives me more of a reason to worry about, you know, exhaust heat and just temperature back there. So I'm not gonna do that back there. I'm just gonna put it over here by the headlight, mount it here. Pretty easy. If you still have your plastic like pieces that that mount the headlight covers right here in the front, you can actually just bolt it onto that. That was the way I did it last time. It worked flawlessly. So that's pretty much my entire setup. I mean, I got nothing else crazy in here. I got a drop-in APR fuel pump. It does about 300 LPHs, 340 I think LPH. Let's see. That, get the tune. Yeah, there's not much left. I mean, I wish I can give you guys more, but I'm already to the point where this is pretty much done. I just got to put in the front end, radiator, and whatnot, and get it going. Today my job was only to get the bumper, I'm at the bumper with the wiring all set up, dress it up as nice as I can. So before I say goodbye, ask questions now because I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go offline after this, and then you won't see me back until the front end is on its way on. So if you need to talk to me, let's do it now. Oh. Marquez. The motor mounts are from VF Engineering. You can actually get it from ECS Tuning. You can get them from VF Engineering themselves online. A lot of places that sell those mounts. They're really, really good set of mounts. I think the set goes for 400 or 500 bucks for the left and right mounts. And then I use ECS polyurethane inserts for the dog bone. That's what I'm going to be using down below. For Alex Yang, the differences between the AWW, AWD, and AWP in the Mark IV chassis in the US. AWW and AWD made 170 horsepower, 160 horsepower around there. 160, 170. The rods were actually weaker. They weren't forged like the AWP motor. And the pistons are the same, the compression's the same. They used the KO3 turbo versus on the AWP they used the KO3S, which gave about an extra 2 psi or 3 psi, so it made 180 horsepower on the AWP chassis. Motor. On top of that, the AWW and AWD had a secondary water pump because they ran really hot, the engines. They fixed a lot of the cooling system with the AWP chassis motor, which started around 2001, 2002. So those are kind of the most obvious difference from those motors. However, all three motors can make the same amount of power. People always prefer the AWP, mainly because the AWP had just a little bit of better overall everything in general. You start off already with a good platform, and you can work your way up. Kalad Kid, You know what's funny? I've been dreaming to be a teacher for a very long time. I just don't have the patience to go back to school and do it. So, because like to get my teaching credentials and whatnot, it takes too long. But yeah, this is why I do YouTube. Because I don't require teaching credentials, and I can teach you guys what I do, as best I can. And it don't cost me and cost you a thing, so it's a win-win. Oh, this shitty tablet. Oh my god, just turned off. Well, I just saw that post before my tablet turned off. The software is the same one I did last time from Boost Concepts. Good software. The guy who actually wrote the software, his name is Trenton Smith on Facebook. Super cool guy. He does everything from his apartment, legit. And he'll remap your car multiple times to get your tune right. Once you're set in stone, that's it. He leaves you alone. So he's going to retune my car once I get everything done. I'm actually supposed to send out his ECU probably today or tomorrow. So I'll see how much time I got to get to do that. But yeah, that's who I'm going to be working with. No, for HellerTech, I did not use Carrot Top. Carrot Top Tuning dropped the ball big time. Gave me the runaround. I'm actually pretty pissed off at them, and I gave him a really shitty review because of the fact that I paid him money. He never did my tune. And then he started just feeding me BS, saying, oh, I don't have time, I've been moving, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, he just never tuned my car. And he just ended up just refunding me because he couldn't do it. Couldn't do it or didn't want to do it. I don't know what was his excuse. But yeah, he just didn't tune it. He had my ECU, I think almost 2 months. And my car was just sitting here. My car was done. And I just been waiting for an ECU while he decided to do it. This time around, I'm going to be... The previous build, we did 830cc injectors. This time around, we're going to be using Bosch 630cc injectors, which we're going to be for this build. I think it'll be just right. Trenton Smith that's pretty much what he recommended for me. So I'm going to go what he recommends because I'm not a tuner, so I don't know what to go with. But for the power that I'm looking for, like I said, I'm looking for 350 to 400. That's more than enough fuel for this build. So I'm pretty happy with that. So if any of you guys ever going to deal with Carrot Top tuning, just don't. Yeah, I got the runaround hardcore with that guy, and it's not cool, especially when they just take your money. He's all, take my money. He's all, pay me now and it'll be done. I paid him immediately the moment he offered me the amount of gave me a price. I paid him on the spot. So I don't know, whatever. Yeah, Eurodyne Maestro is probably one of the best tunes out there. You get the most flexibility and whatnot. Well, for Hellertech, his own car hasn't blown up yet. Well, number one, my car caught on fire not due to anything tuning wise. It was all electrical. So if you're gonna try to defend him, go ahead. You know, I can care less. But my whole entire thing wasn't even due to me because I didn't do anything electrical in my car. Just a crazy electrical fire. Not due to fuel, not due to anything. The fire actually kept going because of the fuel. But if there was no issue with the electrical, it would have not never happened. But yeah, it was weird. You know, you can go ahead and defend them all you want, but for someone who dropped the ball that hard, whatever, you know. So pretty much after that, I don't know what else to give you guys right now. If you guys are not going to be running the factory banjo bolts here, I'm going to find the exact size for you guys for here for the oil cooler and on the back. On the back, since we're not going to be using the coolant feed line on the back of the block, there's a specific bolt you guys need to get to block that. So I will give you guys that bolt later once I find the exact size for it. I'm trying to think what else is there before I say goodbye. If you guys are not going to be running the coolant feed line that goes down here on the hard pipe, there's a feed line that goes from here, it goes 90 degrees up and over to the factory turbo. There's a special type of coolant cap you need to use so this doesn't leak coolant and doesn't degrade like those cheap vacuum caps that people put underneath here. Those cheap ones tend to degrade pretty quickly and fail pretty quickly, so I'll give you guys that info once I get those parts and show you guys that. I'm trying to think what else is there. So coolant cap, the bolts to plug up the oil cooler and the block. I will be showing you guys how to do a custom intercooler. I'm going to be doing a full custom front mount intercooler on this car. Same way as I did before. It's going to be dual exit out this way. So it's going to be a neat one. I'm trying to see what else is there. What else is there? Yeah, I don't have anything else for you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. It was a short and sweet video, but you know, you guys understand where all the wiring lays down and goes to. You guys understand all the extra caps we're gonna have to do. Hopefully, you guys pay attention to what I'm saying, and you know, do it your own way. Don't, you know. What core? I got a Mishimoto dual exit core on the side. I forgot the measurements. But it's a 2.5 inch thick intercooler. I'll give you guys all that info once I actually start building it, so you guys can see which one we're going to be using. Trying to see what else is there. What else is there? No, there isn't much more. So stay tuned. Like I said, for my next session here. What we got? We got about what? 40 minutes in today, so not bad. That's actually a really short video for me. Usually my videos go for like 2 hours when I'm doing live streams. I love chatting with you guys and talking about about what's going on. Yeah, I think that's it. So again, thanks for watching, everybody. And always, you know, my slogan: break, fix, repeat. That's how we do it here at PincheAls Garage. We learn together, we evolve together, and we learn from each other. So all your guys' awesome positive feedback has been great for me. All your other advice I've been actually taking to heart, and I've actually been using it. So thanks again, everybody, for all the good info. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Next time when we get to it, we'll be doing the front mount intercooler, piping. We're going to kind of jerry rig it so we can drive the car to my exhaust shop so we can get all that taken care of, because we're going to have it welded in. I do not believe in couplers, and I don't believe in 100 different couplers to do one job. So, thanks again, everybody. Peace out. Oh, and by the way, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I'm a big believer in Christmas. Not about the religious portion of it, but all the beliefs behind it. Like love, friendship, given to everybody, and I keep it in my heart I keep it close to my heart, very, very dear. So Merry Christmas to everybody, and if I don't see you guys again during this time of year, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys have an awesome Christmas this year, and love everybody. Peace out.